Dirty Diana, yeah. Dirty Diana, dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. That's a for the dirty Diana. I'm swerving them lanes for the dirty Diana. I'm getting it out of the mud. Dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. Too hard, too clean, that's what I'm riding in. Niggas can't catch me after I do a dolphin spin. Thought I was just jumping out the water. I've been in the deep end, the piss, but now I'm inebriated. From the knee up, nigga, what's up? Touch your shoulder and a nigga gon' bust. Yeah, I got a gang of gang with me. Gang, we ain't screaming none of those other things. Straight out the mud, talking dirty Diana. Talking dirty stories, dirty faded, dirty hammers. Dirty things come out dirty niggas' mouth when you down in that motherfucking dirty south. Dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. That's a for the dirty Diana. I'm swerving them lanes for the dirty Diana. I'm getting it out of the mud. Dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. Clap, make it clap. Chop, make it chop, slap. I need some sounds maker, I need some headboard, I need some love maker, I need those sex story to go down in your DM. I'm telling you what's up now. It's you come through. I'm gonna take you down. And we ain't coming out till the morning wake up, till the nightfall again, and then we both wake up. I'm never coming back, and I don't need you back. We ain't got no time for all of that, yeah. Dirty Diana, dirty Diana. Dirty Diana, that's a dirty Diana, that's a dirty Diana. For the dirty Diana, I'm swerving them lanes for the dirty Diana. I'm getting it out of the mud. Dirty Diana, that's a dirty Diana, dirty Diana. 34-30 going like we going curry. On the off the court, nigga, I'm still ballin' dog. Sitting on more than 20s on the rims, dog. So you know the way rollin' with comfort, dog. Two-seater with the leather motherfucker, but I bet you that motherfucker C4. Back out, blowing out endo. Got the whole window missing at the top, though, so I'm ruthless.
The commercial starts with a black and white image of Michael Jackson as a child. Then it fades into a large, starkly furnished room with a grand piano. A modern-day Michael Jackson sits down and starts to play his Jackson 5 ballad, I'll Be There. However, he suddenly stops when he realizes that his younger self is also present in the room. He continues to sing as images of him and his brother's younger days appear on screen, before stopping again. Then Kid Michael Jackson picks up where modern Michael left off, and the two begin singing together, performing a powerful rendition of the sentimental track before his younger self disappears, leaving the adult Michael Jackson all by himself. Much more understood the things of nostalgia and portraying a more reflective side of the King of Pop. However, what was meant to encourage a warm and fuzzy feeling ultimately caused a huge amount of controversy for the artist, as viewers were starkly reminded of the unfathomable transformation Michael Jackson had gone through since his days of child stardom, most noticeably his skin tone. That in recent years had faded from a rich cocoa brown to an alabaster white. The most famous and powerful black entertainer in the world had gone through some kind of race conversion. Surprisingly, up until this point, absolutely no word of an explanation had been given of any kind. Therefore, tabloids were rife with their speculations as to why and how this had occurred from fragments of information they clawed after. So, when word got out in January 1993 that the actor chosen to play Michael as a child in the Pepsi commercial was in fact white, speculations grew as to why a black man would allow a white child to play his younger self. The story reported was that after several months of auditions, the producers, with Jackson's approval, selected a young black boy to play him as a child. Quote, Michael then changed his mind. He decided he wanted to cast a white boy who'd tried out. The New York Post wrote. The white child was then fitted with an afro wig, and his skin was darkened slightly with Jackson's face as a child superimposed onto his body in post-production, which would have been a pretty innovative special effect for a commercial at the time. PepsiCo spokeswoman Tara Carrero responded that they were, quote, using a variety of techniques that would most accurately portray the best of Michael from yesterday to today, neither confirming nor denying whether the child actor in the commercials was in fact white. Tabloid speculation grew as to why Michael would last minute cast a white child to play himself, with some outlets saying that the black actor was scrapped, at least in part because the footage would have made Jackson's plastic surgery and alleged skin bleaching way too obvious. Other vicious rumors circulated that Michael had long been ashamed of being black and was actively rejecting his race by distancing himself from family and through his physical transformation. Having a white actor play him as a child was another way of separating himself from his former image and, in his own way, rewrite history to his own liking.
As if Michael Jackson isn't confused enough about who he really is, this can only make things worse. In his latest advert, he sings a duet with himself, as he was aged 11. I reach out my hand to you. I have faith in you. Young Michael makes a brief appearance at the door. That seems to cheer old Michael up. So for no clear purpose other than to justify his £10 million fee, he drinks some Pepsi and finishes his song, the 1970 hit I'll Be There. Innocent enough, except for who plays young Michael walking into shot there on the left of the screen. In the ad, old footage of the real Michael's face is superimposed onto that of the actor. But behind the technology, the actor who plays young Michael is white. Pepsi says black dancers it auditioned weren't good enough. Only this one can move like the real thing. Jackson has been criticized in some quarters for plastic surgery to make him look less black and more white. That's why the choice of a white actor in his latest advert is a matter of particular sensitivity.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Jackson.
Jackson himself has remained silent on the issue, while Pepsi says it's a fuss about nothing.
However, this wasn't the first time that it was reported that Michael Jackson believed the lyrics of his hit song, that it really doesn't matter if you're black or white. As demonstrated when just 6 months before, stories surfaced that the King of Pop requested a 5-year-old white boy to play him in the upcoming 5-hour miniseries, The Jacksons: An American Dream. Quote, the casting director got excited and found out it was a white kid. Reported Entertainment Weekly writer David Brown, going on to explain, quote, people on the set were either amused or sort of horrified. However, the family reportedly intervened, and the black actor Alex Baral was chosen to play a young Michael in the ABC series with 2 other black actors portraying Jackson at older ages. Quote, he really must hate himself, said Detroit psychotherapist Margaret Bennett. Quote, he tries to look as white as he possibly could. A poor relationship with his parents. She said, quote, "I've never seen anyone in 25 years who would choose a white boy to represent himself in a picture about himself in a black family." Lynn Lewis, director of the sociology department at the University of Detroit, publicly diagnosed Michael Jackson with a type of ethnic denial that had become outdated since the 1960s. Quote, "During the 30s, 40s, and 50s, African Americans would bleach their skin and attempt to set themselves more in line with the European concept of beauty." She said, quote, "But this is 1992. What all African Americans need to understand is it doesn't matter if you have a lip implant or eye surgery or no surgery or change the coloration of your skin." Lewis said, quote, "The bottom line is you are still African American and you will be treated as such." With wild accusations spreading throughout the press, who had at this point spewed so many skin bleaching rumors the public just took it as fact, Michael Jackson knew he needed to do something drastic. Hence, it's no coincidence that the following month, Jackson agreed to a landmark live interview with Oprah Winfrey. In this TV special, the pop icon wanted to clear his name and stop in its tracks the rampant speculation without the possibility of his words getting misinterpreted, during which Winfrey addressed the rumors head-on that he had wanted a white child to play him in a Pepsi commercial, and Jackson made it clear what he thought of the idea. Quote, "That is so stupid. That's the most ridiculous." Quote, "I'm a black American. I'm proud of my race. I'm proud of who I am."
Why? Number one, it's my face as a child in the commercial. Me when I was little. Why would I want a white child?
Without the possibility of his words getting misinterpreted, during which Winfrey addressed the rumors head-on that he had wanted a white child to play in a commercial, and Jackson made it clear what he thought of the idea. Quote, "That is so stupid. That's the most ridiculous, horrifying story I've ever heard. It's crazy," he proclaimed, adding, quote, "I'm a black American. I'm a black American. I'm proud to be a black American. I'm proud of my race. I'm proud of who I am."
Why? Number one, it's my face as a child in the commercial. Me when I was little. Why would I want a white child to play me? I'm a black American. I'm proud to be a black American. I am proud of my race. I am proud of who I am. I have a lot of pride in who I am and dignity. That's like to play you as a child. Does that make sense? No.
After his undeniable proclamation, Oprah then progressed to ask about his changing skin tone, and Michael Jackson, for the first time, revealed that he suffered from a devastating skin pigment depleting condition, vitiligo, in hope that it would silence the speculators and bleaching accusers once and for all.
It has caused a great deal of speculation and controversy as to what you have done or are doing. Are you bleaching your skin? And is your skin lighter because you don't like being black?
Okay, number one, as I know of, there is no such thing as skin bleaching. I have never seen it. I don't know what it is.
Well, they used to have those products growing up. I used to hear always use bleach and glow, but you'd have to have about 300,000 gallons.
Okay, number one, this is the situation. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help. Okay, but when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me. So it is. It's a problem for me, okay? I can't control it, okay? But what about all the millions of people? Let's reverse it. Okay. What about all the millions of people who sit out in the sun to become darker, to become other than what they are? Nobody says nothing about that.
Of course, we know that wasn't the case, and many still speculate Michael Jackson's skin disorder and relationship to his race, even to this day. When it comes to the Pepsi commercial, was a white child actor used? In recent years, a number of photographs show Jackson posing with actor Alex Dorsey, who's dressed in the outfit from the commercial. Jackson's also seen posing with Dorsey's father and brother. However, another shot shows Jackson with what appears to be a different child dressed in the same outfit. There are many who believe the child in the picture is a young Wade Robson, the same Wade Robson who many years later accused Jackson of crimes against children in the controversial 2019 two-part documentary Leaving Neverland. But by 1992, however, Wade Robson had already received a considerable amount of acclaim
Bang bang. Mic check. Whew. On the mic. Mic check. 1, 2. Bang bang. Check it. So right there in the Pepsi commercial, you got two different mics already being played. Now they're gonna digitize over the Caucasian face. Well, let's just say what it is. It's a white kid. They're saying it. Well, I mean, these are interviews from during that time, so it's not something I'm saying. Every video you witnessed on Absolutely's channel, bang bang, has been to other people's opinion. Every video. So I'm sharing my thoughts on top of their opinions. Now, and my thoughts are going to be different from theirs. But the segue needs to happen. There has to be a segue to making sure that the people take control of the power and take the power out of the hand of the money. Bang, bang. So, right there, back in the day, they could digitize over one's face, of course, in movies and things of that nature. We know for sure that vitiligo don't turn you into Casper. Fuck all that. It needs to be said. We ain't buying it. I don't give a fuck how you sell it. We ain't buying it. Check it. So, all of these different stories, all of these different actors, characters on the stage, it's still all theater. And right now, the power is in the hands of the money. So we got something that's pretty much let's just call it an object that has the power. We have given objects the power. Objects can create illusions with the hands and the help of man. That's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing characters set to play an illusion. State fair, world fair, your ass. Mike Jack, Mike Chat, 1, 2 on your ass.
Same outfit. There are many who believe the child in the picture is a young Wade Robson, the same Wade Robson who many years later in the controversial 2019 two-part documentary Leaving Neverland. But by 1992, however, Wade Robson had already received a considerable amount of acclaim for his dance ability and extraordinary Michael Jackson impressions. So much so, he won a dance competition in his native of Australia in 1988 and got to meet the man himself as a result. Years later, the director of the commercial, Joe Pytka, who also directed Jackson's The Way to Be There for the Pepsi commercial with him singing with himself as a young boy, searching for a boy that could mimic him, and we were having trouble. Michael suggested a boy from Australia, Wade Robson. Wade was white, but that didn't matter since we were going to superimpose Michael's head onto Wade anyway, and the rest was to be a silhouette. The movements were the only thing important. Pytka going on to say, quote, digital work was still in its infancy, so we were restricted in what we were able to do. We shot the spot, and it was compelling despite the compromises we had to make. The press was asking why we used a white boy. I answered that he was the best for the job, but it didn't matter as we were using old Michael footage to adjust for that. Of course, the press didn't care. Michael suggested a boy from Australia, Wade Robson. Wade was white, but that didn't matter since we were going to superimpose Michael's head onto Wade anyway, and the rest was to be a silhouette. The movements were the only thing important. Heitke going on to say, quote, digital work was still in its infancy, so we were restricted in what we were able to do. We shot the spot, and it was compelling despite the compromises we had to make. The press was another matter. I got a call asking why we used a white boy. I answered that he was the best for the job, but it didn't matter as we were using old Michael footage to adjust for that. Of course, the press didn't care about any truths, and they did a hatchet job on Michael. Quote, years later, about Michael's greatness and influences and what a wonderful coincidence this is to see each other after all these years. Quote, well, don't you know that Wade sued Jackson's estate after Michael had passed away? The judge threw out the suit for various reasons, including the fact that Robson had testified under oath in a prior but it didn't matter as we were using old Michael footage to adjust for that. Of course, the press didn't care about any truths, and they did a hatchet job on Michael. Quote, years later, Wade Robson is choreographing Britney for a Pepsi commercial I'm doing. We reminisce about Michael's greatness and influences and what a wonderful coincidence this is to see each other after all these years. Quote, well, don't you know that Wade sued Jackson's estate after Michael had passed away? The judge threw out the suit for various reasons, including the fact that Robson had testified under oath in a prior case that nothing had ever happened. Sad.
reductions and cheek that Michael Jackson's face hasn't allegedly undergone, as stated in the tabloids. Overtly sensationalized by media outlets or downplayed by the artist himself. Speculation. And what plastic surgery did Michael Jackson actually have? Here's the detail. If this video title sounds familiar, it's because it is, as the first ever video on this channel was also on this subject. And because that video was somewhat popular, we thought it deserved a 2021 update. So, with the help of upscale video for 2 years in Michael's evolving appearance, we are going to chronicle the plastic surgery procedures Michael Jackson has known to have undergone.
Bang, bang. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2. Sugar digger. Figure digger. Hey, slide right into it, I guess. Look at here. There ain't nothing I could have stopped him from doing. Now, let's just say this is the real mic check. Mic check. 1, 2. Bang, bang. Let's just say it is the real one. What would make you continuously do this to your body? Okay, again, that's his body, his will to do what he wants with it, or what have you. I'm not stopping that. Not by 1, not by 2, not by 3, not by 4 of us. Nobody's really stopping what you do to yourself, really. All right, so we're just wondering right now, what would have made you want to do that? First of all, you got to have the money to be able to do all that. I mean, you got to have some mucho dinero. You got to have casinos. Got to have some pesos. Got to have some green. Yeah. To be able to do all of that crazy ass shit. Or does this have something to do with the Yakubian drop and how they were making sure that you had somebody probably that could look like you, play you, double you? We ain't talking that letter in the alphabet. Yeah, sometimes you need a W around. Or you can disguise yourself playing somebody else as somebody else at all times and never really be you, and let somebody else play you who's also got a W, because that was easier to have somebody else play you and create a W off of that you, because it was already a phony from the beginning. Dirty down. Yeah.
If this video title sounds familiar, it's because it is, as the first ever video on this channel was also on this subject. And because that video was somewhat popular, we deserved a 2021 update. So, with the help of upscaled video footage and after 2 years studying Michael Jackson's evolving appearance, we are going to chronicle the plastic surgery procedures Michael Jackson has known to have undergone, alongside images of before and after, in order to make an accurate assessment of the work he had done during his lifetime. Michael Jackson's first foray into plastic surgery came in 1979, when at the age of 21, Jackson reportedly broke his nose while in dance rehearsal. Needing surgery for the break and with the release of his first solo record as an adult, Off the Wall, coming up, Michael decided to, at the same time, undergo his first rhinoplasty. Michael Jackson entrusted Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Stephen Hoffman, who would work on the likes of Elizabeth Taylor, Joan Rivers, Ivana Trump, and was Jackson's preferred choice for many years to come. Before, Michael Jackson's nose was characterized by its broad bridge and widened nostrils, as well as its lack of definition and projection at the tip. After surgery, Hoeflin gave Michael a slimmer and more
Bang, bang. His hair don't match his brow, which don't match his mustache. But they have to send people to schooling to know how to do these different professions. To become a plastic surgeon, you need real schooling for that. So just know that this marvelicious boxcar boy gang, just know they got people in every profession. Just as if you were running a country and you had someone running every county seat, someone running every state, and so on and so forth. So let's not think small. Remember, you gotta reach above the sky to get to the moon. At least that's what they tell us. These people have the ability to change everything about them. And if that didn't work well enough, guess what? We will superimpose your face on that body in video footage. Hmm? Now to go as far as to AI footage of you not even being nowhere near anything. You can speak it out, type it out, and you can create in out of thin air, like the Federal Reserve in the Fed note. Out of thin air, you can create an illusion. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, bang, bang.
Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Stephen Hoeflin, who would work on the likes of Elizabeth Taylor, Joan Rivers, Ivana Trump, and was Jackson's preferred choice for many years to come. Before, Michael Jackson's nose was characterized by its broad bridge and widened nostrils, as well as its lack of definition and projection at the tip. After surgery, Hoeflin gave Michael a slimmer and more defined result, while still maintaining the integrity of his original nose. However, according to Jackson, the surgery was not a complete success, as he wasn't satisfied with its overall appearance and complained of breathing difficulties that would affect his singing. Mega hit Thriller, Michael decided to go back to Stephen Hoeflin to perform a second rhinoplasty. Hoeflin later explained, quote, "Noses sometimes can't be reduced all at once, and it can take a two-stage procedure. Not just removing skin his singing. Mega hit. Michael decided to go back to Stephen Hoffman to perform a second rhinoplasty. Hoffman later explained, quote, "Noses sometimes can't be reduced all at once, and it can take a two-stage procedure." Not just reshaped, Michael's nostrils were surgically reduced by cutting and removing skin, creating a scar around his nostril crease, resulting in the dramatically reduced size of his nostrils. And as a result of the second procedure, Jackson's nose was made even narrower, and the tip less bulbous. Still unsatisfied and with Thriller skyrocketing up the charts, Michael did a third rhinoplasty during the summer of 1983, revealing the result in his Say 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 music video with Paul McCartney. This time, Michael's nostrils and nose tip were further reduced. His tip was now as narrow as the bridge, and his profile was given a slight upturned appearance. Unfortunately, not all Michael Jackson. While Michael and the other members of the Jacksons were filming a Pepsi commercial in Los Angeles' Shrine Auditorium, pyrotechnics set Jackson's hair on fire, causing second-degree burns to his scalp and extensive. On January 27, 1984, while Michael and the other members of the Jacksons were filming a Pepsi commercial in Los Angeles' Shrine Auditorium, pyrotechnics set Jackson's hair on fire, causing second-degree burns to his scalp and extensive hair loss to his head. In the run-up to 1984's Victory Tour, Michael Jackson endured a series of painful surgeries, whereby they cut away scarred areas and stitched his unaffected scalp together in hopes of disguising Jackson's injury and covering the now palm-sized bald spot on top of his head. As indicated in this rare home footage, presumably taken while Michael Jackson was recovering from surgery as well as practicing his dance moves for his upcoming tour, Michael can also be seen wearing a surgical splint on his nose as well as dressings on his scalp. This would suggest that during his scalp procedures, Jackson decided
Dang, dang. Let me go back and just check and see if that moved like Mike Jack. Let me check the swagger on Mike Jack.
of his head. As indicated in this rare home footage, presumably taken while Michael Jackson was recovering from surgery as well as practicing his dance moves for his upcoming tour, Michael can also be seen wearing a surgical splint on his nose as well as dressings on his scalp. This would suggest that during his scalp procedures, Jackson decided to have his nose revised for the fourth time. This theory is further substantiated when Michael appeared at his mother's birthday celebrations with his nose looking different, as though still slightly swollen a month after surgery. During the Victory Tour, it was clear from Michael Jackson's side profile that his nose tip was further refined, and its upturned position had become unnaturally whimsical in its appearance. However, by 1986, it became apparent that Michael Jackson was visibly having issues with his recently surgically altered nose, as on May 6, 1986, Jackson appeared at a Pepsi press conference with sunglasses that appeared asymmetric and at a stage of collapse. With filming for commercials and new music videos coming up, the next month Michael was photographed wearing a surgical mask for the first time. In that July, while attending the funeral of Vincent Minnelli, photographers noticed his nose altered, as well as the addition of a Kirk Douglas-style dimple to his chin. His jawline's new look was achieved by the use of an implant, as his autopsy report noted that he had 2 incision marks at the bottom of his chin. After the release of his Bad album in 1987, Michael Jackson's new look made him a relentless media target, with bombastic stories of him and his bouts with plastic surgery becoming regular tabloid fodder in the newspapers. After years of touring and promoting, Jackson had little time to pursue additional image makeovers. On September 14, 1990, Michael Jackson received the first ever, quote, Michael Jackson Good Scout Humanitarian Award at the Century Plaza Towers in Los Angeles. With sunglasses firmly on, it is clear that Jackson was again suffering from ongoing complications with his nose, as it appeared uncharacteristically pinched, in a state of collapse. Presumably, Michael had several surgeries to help rectify these issues, but for reasons that were medically needed and not necessarily cosmetic. Another ongoing grievance that Michael Jackson continued. With little success from his 1984 surgeries, Michael decided to undergo a radical treatment that would finally relinquish his need for hairpieces to disguise the bald spot caused by scar tissue left after the Pepsi accident. The tissue expander treatment consisted of implanting balloons into areas surrounding the scarred tissue that over time are blown up to expand the skin on the scalp. This is in the hope of then, in surgery, they can stretch the skin over the affected areas, cut the scar tissue out, and sew the healthy areas together. Because the whole process is so visible, hats have to be worn during this period. And for a 2-month stretch in the spring of 1993, Jackson was only ever seen in public with his signature fedora on. As part of Jordan Chandler's testimonial against Jackson, he noted that the artist would wear his fedora at all times, and how odd he felt it was when he would even sleep with it on when they shared a bed together. Unfortunately, this surgery was ultimately unsuccessful, and Michael Jackson would continue to rely on hairpieces and semi-permanent tattoos to disguise his hairline. By 2001, and at the release of his album Invincible, Michael Jackson was again having significant issues with his nose. Presumably untrusting of doctors, the artist had effectively given up trying to rectify its problematic issues, described by doctors as having a, quote, nasal cripple. Jackson could no longer breathe through his nose. From images, it is clear from his side profile that Michael Jackson's nose lacked any projection, as though it had collapsed onto itself. And also, he didn't have enough nasal passage for his nose function for breathing. Behind the scenes, Karen Fay, Jackson's longtime makeup artist, has revealed that it was suggested to him that he should darken his skin and wear a prosthetic nose during the filming of his You Rock My World music video. The artist was reportedly so distraught, he lashed out and trashed his dressing room, breaking down into a puddle of tears and crying over his years of intense insecurities concerning his appearance.
Yo, yo. Like I said, everything I say is my opinion. All opinions. All opinions. Now, who knows? I could be right about some things. Who knows? I could be wrong about some things. But I'm an American. And I'm gonna have some opinions about some of this wicked ass shit. Mic check, 1, 2, bang bang. Check it. Was Mike Jack? Was Mike Jack? Mike Jack, yeah. Mike Jack, yeah. 1, 2, bang bang. Was this born a? Was this situation born a female at birth, and they needed a fifth Mike Jack? Remember? That would have been maybe boyish. They needed another boy to add to the Mike Jack members to make the Jack 5, Mike Jack your 5. It just seems very, very feminine from the jump, even at a young age. Was this a transitional situation and then, oops, got changed over time to a whole nother different being? because this was a big character and they wanted control of this big character. If something is grand and big, they want control of it. They say it themselves. It's not even. They tell you right now they're right now in the WWE match because they said so. Now, I mean, that's literally what's going on. It's because they said so, and they will replace your ass with somebody else. Think it's like a job. If you lose your job if you work for someone, right? They replace you, right? Nuff said. Nuff said. Not you said. Nuff said. Bang, bang.
And crying over his years of intense insecurities concerning his appearance. However, it appears that Michael Jackson had nasal issues, as indicated on November the 13th, 2002, during an appearance in the Santa Maria Superior Court. During his questioning, Jackson was asked by the judge to remove his surgical mask, and when he did, Jackson revealed his nose was covered in tape used to limit swelling after surgery. After his appearance, images taken were splashed across newspapers with headlines suggesting the tape held Jackson's nose together, and that without it, his nose would fall apart. Of course, all untrue. Michael Jackson had actually undergone a successful reconstruction that bought a lot of the structural integrity of his nose. With an intense fear of growing old and of the aging process, Michael Jackson became a regular client of Arnold Klein, a dermatologist that specialized in dermal filler injections. To initially treat Jackson for acne and scarring that had occurred as a result of cosmetic surgery, but then to combat the signs of aging with regular filler and Botox injections, starting from the early 2000s. As indicated by scars noted in his autopsy report, in 2003, Michael Jackson sought a more invasive solution and decided to undergo a full facelift procedure. Jackson revealed his new, more youthful look by making several public appearances like that at the BET and Radio Music Awards that year. The latter being when this image was taken of Jackson, causing a media sensation and again splashed across tabloid front pages under numerous plastic surgery disaster headlines. A photograph Michael Jackson grew to detest. Said that his aim was to rebuild Jackson's face in an attempt to make him look more normal, including a reconstruction of his nose using fillers. He said that his nose was small, but was beginning to look a lot more natural again. Restylane, a temporary tissue filler, was also injected to build up areas of the face and even out others that had been visibly impacted by infection, scarring, and the effects of his long-term illnesses. But what do you think? Did Michael Jackson have more or less surgery than you had expected? And do you think there's anything here we may have missed out? Please leave your comments below.
So it's unsurprising that they find themselves moving in the same circles, stepping out publicly at the same fashionable fundraisers and photo ops, and relating to one another's lavish tendencies. Friendship continued into the 2000s. Despite the two men's rapidly diverging paths, Trump continued to publicly Throughout the 1980s and 90s, there were few more famously wealthy Americans than Donald Trump and Michael Jackson. So it's unsurprising that they find themselves moving in the same circles, stepping out publicly at the same fashionable fundraisers and photo ops, and relating to one another's lavish gold amusement park. And despite the two men's rapidly diverging paths, Trump continued to publicly support Jackson up until his 2009 death and beyond, painting the late King of Pop as misunderstood, as recently as his lead up to the 2016 election. Welcome to The Detail, and here then is a select annotated timeline of the unusual friendship of Michael Jackson and Donald Trump. Jackson's marathon tour for Bad, the successor for his record-shattering thriller, Square Garden. It was a performance New York Times called a mammoth pop soul Halloween party. Give us a like, subscribe, and if you have extra info that we didn't quite cover here, please leave us a comment. We are always up for getting more of the detail. Now, March 3rd, 1988. In the midst of Jackson's marathon tour for Bad, the successor for his record shatter, he swung through New York for a benefit concert called a mammoth pop soul Halloween party. Then 41-year-old Donald Trump was among those in attendance, and as he recalled to Larry King in 2009, I spoke to him for a little while. He was low-key, and I'd think, there's no way this guy's going to go out on that stage and perform. It's fair to assume Jackson, likewise, would have never assumed that his new acquaintance would one day be president. After this initial counter, Ivana Trump states in 2008 for and Eric, alluding to some time. Now, March 3rd, 1988. In the midst of Jackson's marathon tour for Bad, the successor for throughout the 19th, it's unsurprising that they find themselves moving in the same circles, stepping out publicly at the same Throughout the 1980s and 90s, there were few more famously wealthy Americans stepping out publicly. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, Michael Jackson was moving in the same circles, stepping out publicly at the same fashionable fundraisers and photo ops, and relating to one another's lavish tendencies, be it gold toilets or private amusement parks. Their friendship continued into the 2000s, and despite the two men's rapidly diverging paths, Trump continued to publicly support Jackson up until his 2009 death and beyond, painting the late King of Pop as misunderstood, as recently as his lead up to the 2016 election. Welcome to The Detail, and here then is a select annotated timeline of the unusual friendship of Michael Jackson and Donald Trump. Make sure to give us a like, subscribe, and if you have extra info that we didn't quite cover here, please leave us a comment. We are always up for getting more of the detail. Now, March 3rd, 1988. In the midst of Jackson's marathon tour for Bad, the successor for his record-shattering Thriller, he swung through New York for a benefit concert and wowed thousands at Madison Square Garden. It was a performance the New York Times called a mammoth pop soul Halloween party. A then 41-year-old Donald Trump was among those in attendance, and as he recalled to Larry King in 2009, I spoke to him for a little while. He was low-key, and I think, there's no way this guy's going to go out on that stage and perform. It's fair to assume Jackson likewise would have never assumed that his new acquaintance would one day be president. After this initial counter, Ivana Trump states in her 2017 memoir, Raising Trump, how Jackson, then 30, was a reg playmate for Ivanka, Don Jr., and Eric, alluding that Jackson was living in Trump Tower at the time, although this is inconclusive. According to Trump's ex-wife, Jackson and her 3 children watch MTV, or play video games, or, naturally, build Trump Tower in Lego. And don't even get her started on the time Jackson popped into Ivanka's school performance of The Nutcracker. April 6, 1990. Trump's Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City was opened with such furor, as if Trump had successfully airlifted the glamorous heyday of mid-century Las Vegas to a sleepy seaside town in New Jersey's shoreline. Then, Trump welcomed to the premises his ace in the hole, Michael Jackson himself, for a guided tour that just happened to be captured by media throngs and screaming fans. It was, as the late Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous host Robert Lynch commented, downright Beatlemania-esque. While Jackson was occupied at the Taj, he received news that Ryan White, an Indiana teenager who struggled to survive the AIDS virus, which he contracted from a blood transfusion, had passed away. In a surreal scene, cameras captured Jackson, with Trump in tow, arriving at the White family home to pay condolences, with Jackson even climbing into Ryan's Ford Mustang, which had been a gift from him, as a copy of Bad played in the stereo. When asked by a reporter why the two men appeared together, a Trump spokesman answered, Mr. Jackson spent the weekend at Taj Mahal as Donald Trump's guest, and Michael Jackson asked if he could come along. In the winter of 1993, when Jackson started dating Elvis Presley's daughter, Lisa Marie, they apparently got familiar with each other in the cozy confines of Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida. In Trump's own telling, Mar-a-Lago helped service the pair's simmering chemistry, having written in his book, The Art of the Comeback, I was there, and I saw the magic of Mar-a-Lago brought to them, because after they left, it didn't work so well. I can tell you,
Mic check, 1, 2, bang, bang. Now, if Trumpster is Elvis, then Mike Jack would have had to have married Elvis' daughter, which would be Trump's daughter. Dum 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 dum. The plot thickens. Bang bang. I gotta say, this is Elvis' face right here. The lower level is Elvis' face. This is Elvis' lower level of his face. So, did Mike Jack had to meet the great impersonator in person to learn his next role, or whoever that being is dressed as Mike Jack, playing a role just like the impersonator here is playing a role? Because that is definitely. And why would Trumpers have a Mongolian? Because didn't they say your boy Elvis would have had Creole type Mongolian? That that is Elvis's mask that this guy's wearing here. That is definitely Elvis's mask. That lower half is Elvis. Is Trumpster Elvis? That would make him about 90 years old. At least somewhere up in there. 80 and 90 is not old. How long did Rockefeller live after taking people's organs? We don't know how long. All we know is that garlic and steak, and we ain't talking food on a plate, is needed. Marvelicious boxcar boy gang. Them boys out here tearing shit up, walking and stepping on everything. The great impersonators. Mike Jack, Mike check, 1, 2. Bang, bang.
In the winter of 1993, when Jackson started dating Elvis Presley's daughter, Lisa Marie, they apparently got familiar with each other in the cozy confines of Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida. In Trump's own telling, Mar-a-Lago helped service the pair's simmering chemistry, having written in his book, The Art of the Comeback, "I was there. I saw the magic of Mar-a-Lago brought to them. Because after they left, it didn't work so well. I can tell you, for at least a period of time, those two folks were really getting it on." On May 26, 1994, Jackson and Presley wed in what was widely viewed as a hasty matrimony between two pillars of music royalty, if not an outright effort to draw attention away from the mounting accusations of child molestation against Jackson. The marriage did indeed dissolve less than 2 years on, which must have been crushing for their biggest supporter, Donald Trump. As Trump shared with media after they tied the knot, those two really get along great, and they're very happy. He also sneaked in the fact that they were at the top of Trump Tower now. When Jackson released History on June 16, 1995, a provocatively titled collection coming on the heels of molestation accusations and related settlements, One Track Money is a song that calls out the soul-stealing haters and frauds, which through the years, fans have debated whether Trump was among the names Jackson mutters in the background just over 3 minutes in. You be the judge. On December 18, 2003, Jackson was formally charged with 7 counts of child molestation and 2 accounts of administrating an intoxicating agent. From that point until Jackson was acquitted in June 2005, the performer was presumed guilty across large swathes of public opinion. Trump, however, never wavered his support, telling Larry King and others throughout this period, "I'm going to stick by him, because nobody else is, and I don't believe it." His remarks would frequently be punctuated with memories of how much Jackson enjoyed his time at both Trump Tower and Mar-a-Lago. On June 25, 2009, the day Michael Jackson passed away at the age of 50, almost immediately, obituaries and reflections walked the tightrope of touting his artistry, rehashing a challenging childhood, an insulated life of stardom, and also being candid about the allegations that swirled around him. Trump, at the peak of his Apprentice popularity, was widely available for comment, and was quick to maintain that Jackson was not a molester and merely loved children. He was not able to attend Jackson's funeral, although he insisted to Larry King, lest there be any doubt, that they invited me and they called me so many times. But above all, Trump remembers the times they shared, especially at Trump Tower and his Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach. In more recent years, during a CNN town hall hosted by Anderson Cooper, the then presidential candidate, Donald Trump, spoke of Jackson, saying he lost tremendous confidence because he honestly had bad surgery, and under such circumstances, you can even lose your talent. Maybe it's fitting that Jackson's daughter Paris got the final word regarding this unlikely friendship. In the summer of 2017, during the MTV Video Music Awards, Paris proclaimed from the stage, "If we were to stand up all united as one, our impact, it would be huge, and that's not fake news." She underscored this meaning later that night with a now deleted tweet reading, "Step up, Donny boy, at real Donald Trump."
To me, what really sticks out is the nose. I think he's had many rhinoplasties, and you can see how much more narrow it got to the point of most likely affecting his breathing. Just so many changes that have occurred, but right there in the center of the face, that's what really pops out to me.
I don't know exactly what they did specifically. I think the nose is the obvious part of it. What happened with the skin color? There are a lot of ways now to lighten the skin that I'm not sure were available even back then.
Yeah, and it's confusing because he did have vitiligo, which we know lightens the skin, but usually not as homogeneously as he has.
You That's a dirty Diana. That's a for the dirty Diana. I'm swerving them lanes for the dirty Diana. I'm getting it out of the mud. Dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. Too hard, too clean. That's what I'm riding in. Niggas can't catch me after I do a dolphin spin. Thought I was just jumping out the water. I've been in the deep end, the piss, but now I'm inebriated. from the knee up. Nigga, what's up? Touch your shoulder and a nigga gon' bust. Yeah, I got a gang with me. Gang, we ain't screaming none of those other things. Straight out the mud, talking dirty Diana. Talking dirty stories, dirty faded, dirty hammers. Dirty things come out dirty niggas' mouth when you down in that motherfucking dirty south. That's a dirty Diana. That's a for the dirty Diana. I'm swerving them lanes for the dirty Diana. I'm getting it out of the mud. The dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. Clap, make it clap. Chop, make it chop, slap. I need some sounds maker. I need some headboard. I need some love maker. I need that sex story to go down in your DM. I'm telling you what's up now. As soon as you come through, I'm gonna take you down. And we ain't coming out till the morning, wake up, till the night fall again, and then we both break up. I'm never coming back, and I don't need you back. We ain't got no time for all of that, yeah. Dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. For the dirty Diana. I'm swerving them lanes for the dirty Diana. I'm getting it out of the mud. The dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. 34-30 going like I'm going curry. On the off the court, nigga, I'm the ballin' dog. Sitting on more than 20s on dog. So you know the way rollin' with comfort dog. Two-seater with the little motherfucker, but I bet you that motherfucker C4. Back out, blowing out endo. Got the whole window missing at the top though, so I'm ruthless.
Jackson. There's this guy, right? His name is Dave, facial reconstruction. So, as we know, Michael Jackson, he had like a vitiligo. And what happened was he was even part of a fire before his face got burnt.
Yeah.
And then he had to get like plastic surgery.
Oh, shit.
Now, after Michael Jackson died, this guy came out. His name was Dave. And he said that he was friends with Michael Jackson. He was close to him.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where he came from. Now listen to Dave's voice. Listen to Dave's voice.
Free myself of his name and his legacy. I decided to become my own person.
Doc, this is voice, man. It sounds like a Michael Jackson impression.
What do you call this? The high pitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Bro, the cadence.
Top 4 evidence for Michael Jackson still being alive. Michael Jackson's body was being transported by Top 4 evidence for Michael Jackson still being alive. Michael Jackson's body was being transported by a helicopter. During a live broadcast, his body was captured, moving. Dave, a little boy whose expenses were covered by Michael in his younger years, appeared on CNN to pay tribute to Michael. However, this person didn't bear any resemblance to the real Dave. The lyrics of the song recorded by Michael in 1999 indicated his escape from death. The title of the song also carries the meaning of escape from death. Almost the entire world was deeply saddened by Michael's death. But someone seemed to be happy. Michael's son was popping gum, and his siblings were laughing. In other words, the family didn't appear to be grieving. So why is that? Could it be because they knew that Michael still alive? Top 4 evidence for Michael Jackson still
Hey guys, it's time to make a point. It's time to make a point.
So me her name Billie Jean. She cost just one who would dance on the floor.
Is Jack Crooner actually Michael Jackson? The world was shaken by Michael Jackson's death. But what if the legend never really died? Let's unravel the mystery of Jack Crooner. Those who now say Joe Biden is wearing a mask don't know that this was already tried by Michael. Yes, you heard right. Look at this man. He's literally using a mask. Almost every photo shows different facial details, different ears and chin structures. Why is this man, who was Michael Jackson's doctor for 2 years, using a mask? Could it be that this is Michael Jackson himself, needing to disguise to occasionally meet with his family? Moreover, body language analyses, the similarities between the two are undeniable. Whatever the truth may be, the connection between Jack Crooner and Michael Jackson will remain an unforgettable mystery in the world of music. Subscribe and share your thoughts in the comment. You can click on the relevant video to watch the full video.
Health-wise, everything you hear about. No, Michael actually was afraid of medications. But he, however, believed that he believed in physicians. He thought the physicians know a lot, so he would listen to them. And giving you exact about this situation, let me give you a timeline. Michael Jackson started his second chapter of life in about 2000, 2003.
Watch Dr. Drew's new show at 9 on HLN. Weeknights on HLN.
Michael Jackson himself is being way over-exaggerated health-wise, everything you hear about. No, Michael actually was afraid of medications. But he, however, believed that he believed in physicians. He thought the physicians know a lot, so he would listen to them, and if he would trust them, he would follow their ordeals. To be giving you exact about this situation, let me give you a timeline. Michael Jackson started his second chapter of life in about 2000, 2003. He was very active. He was going to studios every day. He was singing with Barry Gibb. He was very active.
Have you ever heard Dr. Farshchin's voice?
Chief's complained of. His pain started a week after his car accident, which caused a whiplash. This caused herniation of disc at the level of C6 and C7.
Have you heard Jack Crooner's voice?
Well, because it just makes it easier for me to choose. I got like 10 ties, same weight, like 10 shirts or 10 pants, the same color. Yeah, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
So so it makes it much easier.
Do you notice some differences between their voices? Today we're going to analyze the two voices in comparison, but not before the intro. Hi guys, this is Badat talking to you. Welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna talk to you about the real voice of Dr. Alimarad Farshchin and today's Jack Crooner. Listen to this. Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna talk to you about the real voice of Dr. Alimarad Farshchin and today's Jack Crooner. Listen to this.
Today we are discussing a rare case of a 32-year-old male with a history of ankle pain for more than 5 years. He described to us severe pain all the time. He could not walk more than a few steps before having to stop.
This is Alimarad Farshchin's voice. As you can see, this video was uploaded in 2007, so before Michael's death. So now listen carefully again.
Today we are discussing a rare case of a 32-year-old male with a history of ankle pain for more than 5 years. He described to us severe pain all the time. He could
differences with Jack Crooner. Or do you think that's the same? Let's listen to Jack Crooner voice.
Yeah. Here's Omer. Hey, Omer, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. Do you have a message of peace for people out there? People at Ukraine?
This is really shocking. Can you hear the differences? Do you notice that these two voices are different? I let you hear another doctor's snippet so you can understand better what I'm trying to explain to you.
In the United States, one of the most intriguing and exciting subjects in the science is the research on the stem cells.
Alimarad Farshchand's voice is chanting, low and really slow. Furthermore, the origins of the doctor affect his way of speaking. His voice rightly presents an Arabic tone. In fact, Alimarad Farshchand is an Iranian-American sir. But if we listen to Jack Crooner, we note safe voice. Jack Crooner speaks very fluently, and the differences with the doctor in 2007 are clear. You would ask yourself, fast and safe voice. Jack Crooner speaks very fluently, and the differences with the doctor in two voices so similar but different. 1. Michael Jackson is really able to imitate other people's voices. He has a great ability to imitate different voices. Dr. Alimarad stayed with Michael for a long time to then become friends. Evidently, Michael could imitate his doctor very well to then use him as a disguise. I let you hear a telephone call done by Akon to MJ, where Michael imitated his manager and pranked Akon.
Hello. Hello. Who's calling, please? Looking for Michael. Who's speaking, please? Akon. 1 minute, please. Thanks. Hello. Hello. Akon. Hey, what's going on, Michael? Hey, I'm glad you called. I'm glad to hear from you. How are you? You good?
2. Michael may be getting help from a voice changer device put into his mouth. As I already explained before in the video above, if we explore Farshchand's original channel, we can find videos made before Michael's death and videos after 2009. Why are all the videos before 2009 without the doctor's face? And why we can watch our presumed doctor's face only in the next videos after Michael's death? After Michael's death, on July 15, 2009, the channel posted a video without doctor's face and voice to then post the next video on July 3, 2012 with the doctor face 3 years later. And why are all the comments disabled below every video? But that's not all. On 26 April 2009, Dr. Alimarad Farshchand uploaded in his YouTube channel a video about Chi Ga, a sort of meditation never heard before and unknown today. At the start of the video there's a caption. It's my dream that someday I can walk into a random park and witness all age groups practicing Chi Ga. This is very shocking. That's Michael talking to us. He had the fake death. He was expressing his dream to walk freely in the park and meditate without being recognized. It's my dream that someday I can walk into a random park and witness all age groups practice.
Is it just me? Yeah. Is it just me? But does TGA sound like CIA? Well, you put on these costumes and you can be a normal person again. It's almost like witness protection program for your own goddamn self. So Mike Jack might be the best impersonator. Mike check 1 2. Is he playing multiple characters still to this day? My opinion is, I think the guy was a woman from the jump. I think he showed up to his funeral also as a white woman. I don't give a damn what y'all say. He was playing around with Marvelicious Boxcar Boy Gang the whole time. 80s and 90s. They had him at a young age. Yeah. Him and Trumpster, best friend. Somehow he ends up marrying who is that? Presley, who Elvis just so happens to look like fucking Trump. And the baby Presley Trumpster daughter, whatever she is, they were always within Trump's reach. They stayed in Trump's estates. What is going on here? And why is Mike Jack and Chris Tucker in this motherfucker Yakubian drop files anyway? Huh?
Missing GA. This is very shocking. That's Michael talking to us. He
So Mike Jack, that's what you want to do? You want to go to the park and do some damn some chi GA? Huh? Just regularly? Like regular people? Regular people. Don't just go to the park and just go out there with the goddamn mat and do stretching. Sir, you want to be regular? You want to be regular? You want to go do Pilates? Want to do Pilates? Boy, we got real shit going on out here. You talking about some goddamn Pilates out in the park. You want to be normal. You want to be normal. Well, stop acting goddamn weird with this shit. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm pretty sure at this point they are putting something in our food. What is now normal is fucking crazy. Yeah. Check your food and check your food and yeah, they'll tell you check your motherfucking food. They might jack you, might check you. Bang bang, 1 2, let go.
actor's face and voice to then post the next video on July 3, 2012 with the later. And why are all the comments disabled below every video? But that's not all. On 26 April 2009, Dr. Alimarad Farshchian uploaded in his YouTube channel a video about Chi Ga, a sort of meditation never heard before and unknown today. At the start of the video there's a caption. It's my dream that someday I can walk into a random park and witness all age groups practicing Chi Ga. This is very shocking. That's Michael talking to us. He had the channel before he was passing away and was starting to program his fake death. He was expressing his dream to walk freely into a random park. Obviously you will ask me, did Michael meditate? Yes, of course. According to Kobe Bryant, in the article, for Ariana Huffington and Kobe Bryant, first, success, then sleep. Kobe and
Yeah, you too, Mr. Bryant, Mr. Helicopter Man, huh? Mr. That's my taxi, huh? Yeah. We got you on this tape as well too, player. Are you still? Are you still? Are you still? Hmm. I'm guaranteed you are still. Huh? Huh? Are you part of that marvelous mob boss boxcar boy gang too? Huh? Huh? I'm gonna tell you right now. Some of these people are still amongst us. They're on this big stage as well too. You got enough money, you can pay to play, or you can play to play. Huh? You want to get played, or you want to pay to play? Huh? When you got dumb, stupid money like that right there, back in the day, albums were making money. Yeah, yeah. Whether they gave it to the artist or not, albums made money. Singles made money. So yeah, 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 yeah. They needed to get a hold of the whole music industry from the inception of the music industry because we were the foundation of the music industry. So, Mike Jack, Mike check, 1 2, bang bang. You still out here, player? Playing these different characters? You were wearing a wig the entire time, and people forgot that that wasn't even weave. You had to wear a wig. You tattooed your sideburns on. We don't really know who you really were because you used a disguise. You said you wanted to be regular. You want some regular. You got some deaf? You got deaf? Hmm? Boy, I don't want no, boy, I got shit to do tomorrow. I don't want no deaf. Well, you got some regular? Face ass boy. Yeah, 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 yeah. We ain't figured out which one you is, but we know that you ain't something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My malicious boxcar boy gang member, huh? Huh? Great impersonator tribe, huh? Nobody's exempt off the list, huh? You put yourself on there. You ain't give a goddamn when you put yourself on the list and you kept going, huh? Huh? Ain't no way out the malicious boxcar boy gang I see, huh?
Bryant, in the article, for are you then sleep? Kobe answered the question, you meditate. With NBA coach Phil Jackson introduced me to it. When I was 18, Michael Jackson tried to get me to meditate. He could sit in meditation for 7 hours. But I couldn't sit still for 20 minutes. Journalist, Michael Jackson. Kobe, yeah. Thriller Michael Jackson. You can read the New York Times article by the description below. In conclusion, Michael knew about his fake death for years before 2009 and he decided to use his private doctor as a disguise because of his great ability to imitate him and also thanks to his changing voice device. We have noticed the differences between the doctor's voice and Jack Crooner. Yes, they are two different people, and we discovered his great ability in imitations. Furthermore, we have noticed the particularities of a Limerad YouTube channel before and after Michael Jackson's death. We have noticed Michael's message and the clue that he left to us, which we confirmed with the Kobe Bryant interview. That's all. If you have enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think about it. Don't forget to support me through my Patreon channel, and don't forget also that all the special information about my
Okay, it's 777. And I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna throw away. Not only Michael Jackson is not dead, but he he uses 3 different locations as places that he hides, and he tries to camouflage because he doesn't want anybody, of course, know where he is. I want you to explain to Batu that Batu has a special place in my heart here, and we love him. I think he's on the right track because we spoke to Quentin Smith about 2 weeks ago. We're trying to get him back on Skype. And Quentin Smith, who is a psychic medium in London, England, agrees with Batu, and he feels Michael Jackson is also alive, and he's in hiding currently. He's hiding so he can live his life in peace. As he is doing that, the search for him is, of course, his fans want him really bad to come back, but you understand that if somebody is hiding, and Batu, as we had him in the past, we're gonna, sometimes we have a difficult. There it is. That's Batu and his new translator. Hello, how are you?
Oh, hi. Can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you. How are you today? And how's Batu doing today?
Great. He's doing great. He's really excited.
And Batu is, to people out there who are tuning in for the first time to our show, Batu is a great diehard fan. He is been there for us for over a year. He's made videos supporting our goals. He has also, I had conversation with him regarding Heal the Earth Foundation, and he seems to be all up for it. And as our organization getting bigger and bigger, we need people out there such as yourself, Batu, or Esther, to help us make our organization stronger. Seems like we lost Batu here online for a few. There he is, back on the line. Well, what is the big message? What is everybody have to say these days? You all heard Quentin Smith about a week ago. We had him on the show, and Quentin gave us some really positive news. Quentin Smith told us not only Michael Jackson is not dead, but he uses 3 different locations as places that he hides, and he tries to camouflage because he doesn't want anybody, of course, know where he is. Was Batu excited about that? Was Batu excited about that news?
Yeah.
That's great.
Batu.
And we are also excited about Batu being excited about that, because this show is all about the fans and the fan support. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you, I was not a believer till a couple of weeks ago, till Quentin Smith from London, England, came on our show, and we're trying to get him back, but the guy is a paramedic. Apparently, he works every weekend, and he's just like he told me that he's in a rural area where there's no Wi-Fi or
Blood on the dance floor. Ooh, blood on the dance floor. It was blood on the dance floor. Blood on the dance floor. It was blood on the dance floor. Blood on the dance floor. It was blood on the dance floor. Ooh, blood on the dance
Although it had its perks, really normal things that we all take for granted, like shopping at a bookstore, going to the supermarket, or just being out in public in general, had to be planned in advance with airtight security measures. If he ever wanted to go to a store, they had to be called, and it shut down for him. A lot of the time, he was effectively a prisoner in his hotel room. That is why, successful to varying degrees. I do disguises for different reasons. I like to study people. Although it had its perks, being Michael Jackson also made things a lot more difficult. The fear of being mobbed wherever he went, was a shopping at a bookstore, going to the supermarket, or just being out in public in general, had to be planned in advance with airtight security measures. If he ever wanted to go to a store, they had to be called, and it shut down for him. A lot of the time, he was effectively a prisoner in his hotel room. That is why the artist often resorted to an array of disguises, which were successful to varying degrees. I do disguises for different reasons. I like to study people. I like to be a fly on the wall, even if it's two old ladies sitting on a bench or some kids on a swing, because I don't know what it's like to fit into an everyday life situation. One time I was in a record store, completely disguised, and these girls were putting out my album, talking all about me. I was literally next to them. It was wonderful. I loved it. Welcome to The Detail. And in this video, we're going to expose the most wild attempts Michael Jackson made to disguise himself. So if you like this video, make sure to give us a like, or like this one, check out us for the original designs. Having catapulted into stardom as a child, often mobbed with rough, and learnt early the importance of anonymity in public. At first glance, you wonder what
Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2. Bang, bang. Is that your ass? Mike, Mike, Mike check. Hey, boy, is that you? Walking around here looking like a chill bear. Boy, have you lost your rabbit mind? I can see you. I told you cannot make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. AI ain't got nothing on real life. Real life beings will fake everything. Yeah, you don't even need AI for what's going on in reality. Mike Jack, is that boy? Boy, is that your ass? If you don't take off the boy, you wildin'. You wildin'.
sure to give us a like, subscribe to all designs. Having been catapulted into stardom as a child, Jackson was often mocked with and learned the importance of keeping anonymity in public. At first glance, you wonder what beaming young actress Tatum O'Neal sees in her older date. His features obscured by a huge afro and bushy beard, but the eyes are a giveaway. Beneath the elaborate disguise is a 24-year-old Michael Jackson, hoping to enjoy a concert with his first girlfriend without being recognized. Tatum said, "We were going to a Kool and the Gang concert. Michael didn't want to be spotted. He got the special effects guy to help. We had an amazing night. No one recognized us, but we did have some strange looks as he did appear so much older than me." It is said that the get-up was put together by Oscar-winning special effects artist Rick Baker, who later would work on the Thriller video. During this period, Michael often made various attempts to conceal his identity with the use of wigs, makeup, and prosthetics. There is nowhere in the world I can actually go and have privacy. To use a silly expression, I live in a fishbowl, but it's true. I do disguises, people know them all: fat suits, buck teeth, glasses, afros, prosthetics, makeup jobs, everything. Just to sit in the audience and experience it the way
Mike Jack. The mask got better over time, huh? I remember watching this movie called Dark Man, where this guy had so many minutes before the mask started melting on his face, but he could put anybody's face on his face. That was one of my favorite movies, Dark Man 1, Dark Man 2, with Liam Neeson. Yeah. Oh, great example of what is taking place right now, right here, with this face change, character change. Yeah. So, like I said, man, there's no such thing as a conspiracy theory anymore. It's is that Mike Jack right there looking like a pale face marvelous boxcar boy? Boy, what is you doing looking like you need to be on a milk carton? Boy, Mike, is that you? Boy, I can see you. I'm telling you, man. Check it. Check it. What? Huh? How many of them did this? How many of them are doing it? You don't think your boy Yakubian brain ain't got one of these masks also? You don't think Ghislaine got a fucking mask also? She could be a dude walking around here. You would never know. Mike could be, like I said, a white lady now. We don't know. He could be playing multiple parts. We, you know, you can change. It was already a whole nother color. The motherfucker could have went to Japan and blended in. They would have thought he was one of them. God damn it. With that wet Janet Jackson weave. Man, we are not playing with these sickos. We're not making this shit normal no more. No, motherfucker. We're smiting all of this ignorant shit. Mike went up in there and got his whole self rechanged. We don't know if they put a chip in one of these. I don't know what the fuck these people doing in these back dark rooms. Buying islands and shit so nobody knows what goes on Jekyll Island. And man, I'm not playing with these. Man, what? You fall into that trap of saying, nah, that's cool. You know, everybody's different, you know? No. This is when you go beyond being different. You're doing something else because other people are doing it also, that we have no clue about their inner works and circles. Until the Yakubian drop. The Yakubian drop at the age and stage and intelligence that we're in now, we actually see what it is, because our parents, if they had saw this in their lifetime, what they wouldn't have, what the communication wasn't even firing like it is now. That's why the Yakubian drop right now is major. It's giving you the whole play by play for play by play and how they played the play. And if you're going to be docile to how they're playing the play, well, okay, continue to be the spectator. But I know these motherfuckers out here playing different characters. And they double dog dare us to say something. Well, bitch, I'm Dan. I'm Dan too. I'll do the dare, bitch. I'm going to do the dare, bitch. Double dog, triple dog, damn it, bitch.
makeup jobs, everything. Just to sit in the audience and experience it the way an audience should experience a show. I want to feel how they feel. The way he experiences the world around him was reflected in his work with music videos like Thriller and Ghosts, as well as his changing appearance over the years to come. Although Jackson's disguises weren't always as convincing as he might have liked, as in 1989, Jackson was caught on CCTV at a gift shop in California. Jackson was seen wearing a wig, stick-on moustache, and fake teeth. His disguise was so dodgy, he got stopped by security guards and questioned about his suspicious appearance.
It was funny, but it was also a little bit frightening. I mean, if he would have been wearing his glove, we would have known who he was.
As the years went on, Jackson's disguises would become less convincing and more bizarre. He would often wear scarves, masks, and surgical plasters to cover his face. Like he would with his children, he would cover his face in heaps of fabric in hopes that he would not be recognized. Although such bizarre behavior probably did the exact opposite and made him more of a target of public intrigue. These unorthodox disguises led him into cross-dressing in 2006. Most people working at this mall in Bahrain thought this person covered head to toe in a black veil, gloves, and glasses appeared to be a rich, doting Saudi mother, leaping from one aisle to the next to select kids' shoes, clothes, and toys in mother care. Led him into cross
Mike Jack, are you trying to be Sia? Mike Jack. Boy, is that you again? Boy, you know I can say you. Are you trying to be Sia? Boy, this is not Halloween. Boy, we are in the middle of March. I'm gonna need you to wake the up. You know we can see you, Mike Jack. Mike Jack. 1, 2, bang bang. Boy, now you're a whole woman. Now you're a whole woman out here. See, this is why. Look, the more we accept this silliness, the more we're captivated and we're going to be intaken by their power. And again, the power is just money. The power is not the human being. The power is actually the money. Again, if Mike didn't have all that stupid ass money, he wouldn't have had time to go do this to him. He would have never called Vitiligo. Did you pay for that? I'm just saying. Money just make you do some stupid ass shit sometimes. Come on, you gotta try it just once. Everybody ain't a virgin all their life. You gonna want to pop your cherry to some wild ass shit. It's up to you to say, hey, no, I won't do that. No, pineapples, no. No, but what I heard and what I see from this video here is that you said, yes, 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 dress me up. So that lets me know that you could actually uh, fake your death. You know, why wouldn't you? You want it to be regular. Make me regular. Okay, look, that's why I'm not putting it past these people anymore. I'm not. No, you feel like you got too big and you want to disappear. Let me pay for my disappearance. You know, it's illegal to fake your death in Vegas. Tupac Alicious, my boss, boxcar, boy gang member also. Yeah. Vegas, you can do that. Go ahead. And you can actually fake your death and be alive somewhere else with a new name, face, and everything. It's actually legal.
recognized. Although such bizarre behavior probably did the exact opposite and made him more of a target of public intrigue. These unorthodox disguises led him into cross-dressing. Most people at this mall in Bahrain thought this person covered head to toe in a black veil, gloves, and glasses appeared to be a rich, doting Saudi mother, leaping from one aisle to the next to select kids' shoes, clothes, and toys in Mothercare. But while he was waiting for an assistant to pay, a cashier said that she noticed that the person in the woman's abaya was wearing men's shoes. I looked at him and mouthed, "Michael Jackson," she said, but he wagged his finger to caution me against saying that aloud. Then Jackson made his way to a shoe store, and a salesman thought he was assisting a wealthy Saudi woman, then heard a group of Bahraini women saying that Jackson was in the mall. I looked at the person's shoes and found they were men's shoes. That's when I guessed it was Michael Jackson, he said. By then, the crowd was growing, photographers. A crowd also gathered at the staff exit. At that point, a woman with Jackson asked the driver to get scarves for the children, which she wrapped around their faces before he was led through a back door. Thank you for watching The Detail. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe for more like this one. Also, check out our MJ store. We've got loads of great designs, we ship worldwide, and the prices aren't bad either. We'll see you next time.
In the U.S., transport of oil from the region.
Dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. That's a for the dirty Diana. I'm swerving them lanes for the dirty Diana. I'm getting it out of the mud. Dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. Too hard, too clean, that's what I'm riding in. Niggas can't catch me after I do a dolphin spin. Thought I was just jumping out the water. I've been in the deep end, the piss, but now I'm inebriated. From the knee up, nigga, what's up? Touch your shoulder and a nigga gon' bust. Yeah, I got a gang with me. Gang, we ain't screaming none of those other things. Straight out the mud, talking dirty Diana. Talking dirty stories, dirty faded, dirty hammers. Dirty things come out dirty niggas' mouth when you down in that motherfucking dirty south. Dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. That's a for the dirty Diana. I'm swerving them lanes for the dirty Diana. I'm getting it out of the mud. Dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. Clap, make it clap. Chop, make it chop, slap. I need some sounds maker. I need some headboards. I need some love maker. I need that sex story. To go down in your DM, I'm telling you what's up now. It's for you. Come through, I'm gonna take you down. And we ain't coming out till the morning wake up, till the night fall again, and then we both break up. I'm never coming back, and I don't need you back. We ain't got no time for all of that, yeah. Dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. Dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. For the dirty Diana. I'm swerving them lanes for the dirty Diana. I'm getting it out of the mud. Dirty Diana. That's a dirty Diana. Dirty 30 Diane, 34, 30 going like I'm going Curry. On the off the court, nigga, I'm still ballin' down. Sitting on more than 20s on the rims, dog. So you know the way rolling with comfort, dog. Two-seater with the little motherfucker, but I bet you that motherfucker C4. Back out, blowing out endo. Got the whole window missing at the top, though, so I'm ruthless.